This is the first video in a small series I'm doing called Win on the Range. My background in psychology, I find practicing correctly very, very interesting, and the benefits of it are so powerful. Now, from here, I have to buy in by hitting it into the trampoline. That's a small target. I have to control yardage and direction. Now I have to just hit it through the gap in the on the range there. Different clubs, one shot each. Each one is worth a point. See how many points you can get. You can use different clubs, different targets. It's completely up to you, but just see how many points you can rack up. It's an easy way of training better.
If there's no feedback in your practice, can you actually call it practice? It's an intense little game that's going to get you learning and improving at the same time.
Driver irons, chipping, bunkers, pitching and putting, the reset game can help them all. Here's how it works. All you need is 10 balls and a target. Every time you hit the target, move on, but if you miss, you must stop and write down what happened. Not just where the ball went, so short, long, left or right, but also what was going on with you in that moment. Ask yourself, were you distracted? Did you fully commit to this shot? How high was your tension or emotional levels? Write it down, and then after this reflection, you get one more chance, one life to continue that run of 10. Why does this work? The 10 ball limit and goal creates pressure which trains focus. Writing it down builds awareness so you can start spotting patterns in both your shots and your mindset. That awareness is what bridges from practice to performance. Try it out and let me know your most common patterns. Did you know PGA Tour players get up and down 66% of the time? Here's a game to see if you're on their level. It's called 21. All you need is one ball, your wedges and your putter, and go around the green and drop the ball in 9 different places and play them out just as you would on the golf course. The par is 21. If you match this, you're performing at tour average. But here's the catch. There's no shortcuts. Do your full routine, lock in and treat every shot like a tournament shot. Obviously, I will admit the tour pros are on different courses, greens, lengths, lies, distances, all the time, so the number of 66% is extremely impressive. But trying to beat 21 is a good challenge, but more than achievable on your home course. Most golfers aren't confident they can get up and down when it really matters. Here's a simple game to change that. Set up a few chipping stations around the green, and you only get one chip and one putt. Chip in and it's 2 points, chip and putt 1 point, anything else is 0. The best part of this game is super adaptable. You can chip to the same flag from every station, or mix it up with different flags, lengths, and even different clubs. You can even add in a negative point system if you want to make it really tough. This drill forces you to commit to your chips, play under pressure, and get used to saving par. That's how you build real short game confidence that transfers from practice to the course. Try this in your next practice session. You'll be amazed how quickly your short game belief increases. So there's another video in the Win It on the Range series where I'm trying to help you take your game from the driving range to the golf course to lower your scores. This is called Par 2. You need to set yourselves a fairway on the range and then a small, much smaller target and much closer target for a green. The idea is that you hit the ball through the fairway or in the middle of the fairway, and then you hit the ball on the green. If you miss one of those aspects, you make a bogey. If you miss both, you make a double. If you make both, you keep it as a par. Now what I'm also doing here, I'm switching from fades to draw. Now I'm back on fades again. Now this is going to help me switch my brain on into feeling the shot as opposed to worrying so much about setup or swing path. But again, it's a great way to get your mind away from yourself and into performance mode. If you want to know how you'd perform at the Ryder Cup, bring the pressure onto the range and try it yourself. As a coach, it's my job to create and manipulate environments that support a player's growth. One way to do that is by simulating the physiological effects of tournament pressure during practice. And here's how you can do it. Set yourself a task, for example, 3 balls to a target, 3 balls with a specific flight, or 1 shot with a wedge, 1 shot with a driver. And for each ball, perform an exercise like press-up squats or lunges just to get your heart pumping. Then you must go through your normal pre-shot routine with a clear goal in mind of completing that task. Under pressure, your body produces adrenaline. That raises heart rate, which makes small movements very hard to control. By training this way, you're teaching your brain and body to perform skills when it matters the most. By adding this physical constraint, you're training your swing to self-organize under pressure instead of crumbling under pressure when it really counts. Try it in your next practice and start preparing your game for true tournament pressure. Improve your direction control by behaving like a kid. Now, I'm a strong believer that learning through play is not exclusively just for kids. It just depends how you approach it. And this drill is a great example. Get yourself a gate, 2 sticks will do, and just nail a full swing with a good strike through the middle. Once you've done that, you take a handful of balls and try and hit a sign or a barrel which on the range. Once you've hit the sign or the barrel, you go back to the bag, back to the gate and change club and do the whole thing again. You're going to find that without focusing too hard, you're having fun and getting better. This is a popular pace drill tour players use to sharpen their skills. Its design will help you feel like you're actually on the course, putting for a birdie under a little bit of pressure. Create 3 1-foot wide zones on either side of the hole and place balls at 10, 15 and 20 feet on the uphill and downhill side or left and right side. Start with the 2 10s and then the 2 15s and the 2 20s and so on. If your ball finishes in the middle section, which is now 2 feet long, you move on to the next putt. If you finish in the second section, which is now only 1 feet long but it is 2 feet short, you try again. If you finish outside of that, so even shorter or even longer, you must move backwards or try the putt again. It depends on how hard you want to make this. You can change the difficulty to suit yourself, change the length of putt, the width of the scoring sections or the percentage slope that you're using, or even work all the way up to 35, 40 feet. This will give you the freedom of creativity, but also the chance to score and track your progress over multiple sessions, ultimately making it easier to take the practice green putting onto the course. Take your short game to the next level by training better and educating your hands. Now, walk around the chipping green with 2 clubs, but pick the same landing zone to the same flag. This is going to force you to manipulate the ball position, the club head speed, the feeling in the hands even. You're going to find a shot which you can repeat, and then you can take that shot to the golf course and lower your scores. This simple points game is a brilliant way to train your start line, and here's why it works. Start by reading the putt and laying a string on your chosen start line. As you hit the ball, focus on the middle of the ball being split in half by that line. This is called an external focus. You're concentrating more on the effects of the stroke, not the stroke itself. Research shows this is key for retention and transfer from practice to tournament play through different environments and conditions. If you miss, adjust the string. That's just feedback which allows your body to self-organize, which is a key principle of dynamical systems theory. Instead of forcing a technique, let your movement adapt naturally to the task at hand. Now it's time to earn some points. Move to the opposite side of the hole and read the putt. Place a tee on your intended start line. Focus only on the tee. If you make it, it's 1 point. If you miss, it's 0. If you miss in the same place, it's -1. This drill sharpens your ability to match the speed with the line and gives you a powerful visualization skill for when the pressure's on. Take this around the green 10 different rounds and see how you do. See how well your swing can reorganize itself when hitting the low, medium and high chip shot. Now you want to use a high lofted club for this to make it a little bit challenging and go from the same position to the same target. Make a start position with the middle ball, just like normal. Play your standard chip shot. Move straight back, do not go left or right, and play the forward position ball. We should see it go higher, land a bit softer, and move further forward and hit that low chip. It's going to add some variance into your practice and make you feel the shot more than think too much about it.